Hello, I'm Ronnie Rogers with Spinnaker News, and today we'll be discussing the viral Snapchat video that some are calling racist that has taken the university by storm for the last week. Spinnaker Media brought you this story first, and we've been covering it ever since. Joining me now is Zack Morse, the man in the middle of this controversial video, and he's here to tell his side of the story. Thank you for joining me, Zack.
Of course, thank you for having me.
So we're gonna get right into it. Can you just defend that video, I guess?
I mean, there's really, defend is a strong word. The video, we don't know how it got out. I would never post anything or send anything to anybody that I thought could be racially misconstrued. The story behind it is, we're in a business living learning community in LLC. So my living learning community, we all live together. We're really close. We have classes together and whatnot. We've been together since a week before school started. Very tight friend group. We started when Snapchat came out with their new group Snap, where you can add people to a group Snap. We all decided to add one together, and so we have about 14 or 15 kids in the group Snap, and we have a lot of inside jokes in that group Snap, and I know when I say inside joke, it triggers people more because pretty much about 2 weeks into school, we were all at the cafeteria, and one of the kids decided to confuse Black Lives Matter, BLM, with BML. And we were like, what's a BML? So we Googled it on Urban Dictionary, and it came up, bless my life. And so we thought that was pretty funny. Because, at that point, there was a lot of riots going on. And I don't remember a specific one, but there was a lot of riots going on. And we thought it was controversy and completely counterintuitive because it's opposite of how the media portrays Black Lives Matter. Because you would think as the media portrays Black Lives Matter as either a hate group or a group of angels, so having the acronym misspelled and put in a different light, we thought was really funny. So as the weeks kind of went on, days went on, probably either the next day or the day after, we all went to the beach, and one of the kids in the group chat decided to take a video of these seagulls. I don't know if you've been to Jack's Beach, or I'm sure you have. We went to the beach, and those seagulls are ferocious. They decided to take a video of these little kids that were feeding the seagulls. There's one, and there was 10, and then there was like 50, and they were attacking these little kids, and the kids were like screaming, and the seagulls were just falling on the parents, had to run and get them. And the kid took a video and put BML, and it was so funny. There was no racism behind it. It was just like a rallying of like seagulls against these little kids, and it kind of like took its own persona. And as the weeks went on, the videos kept coming. We used like Howard, the duck on campus, and the geese, in front of our cars, and that's pretty much the explanation for the story. You can take it as like I understand that it looks really bad, like really bad, and I can't apologize enough for making people feel that upset at it, because I'm sure you've seen the video of me at the rally, and I'm a very politically engaged person. I like communicating with people, which is why I wasn't chanting, which is why I like engaging people with conversation. And the video you guys posted of me, although it looks pretty aggressive, which it was because tensions got really high at that rally. The Black Lives Matter group were chanting Black Power, whatever, and that it's upsetting when they're sitting on the flag, and they're kneeling for the anthem, and all you want is unity. And I'm talking to these people. There was one girl, I think her name was Jasmine, I talked to, and another the Army veteran that I talked to, and they were 10 minutes before Spinnaker showed up, we had very civil conversation, and then it kind of got a little heated as more supporters of the American flag came in. But I feel like it actually accurately portrays my opinions. I am definitely for all lives mattering. I don't think that there should be racial supremacy of any race. I believe that it is a cultural problem in society, and racism is just saying that there's racism in America doesn't solve anything. I wanna talk to whoever has the problem, because I believe that Black Lives Matter has a lot of traction. They do. They have very good issues, but when you put racial segregation on yourself and then claim that you're the victim, it doesn't work. Like, say all lives matter, I will jump right in there and I will protest against police brutality any day of the week, any day, because it's a problem. And we address it as one race, the human race, not blacks and whites and Asians, and because it's not just blacks and whites. We get that confused in the media. I have a lot of friends that have come up to me. What happened was really bad, but you have a platform now, and I don't want to use this platform because it was given to me in a negative manner, but it's true. Like, unity needs to happen. There shouldn't be like racial tension in America. America's great. We can be great. We have problems. Everyone has problems. It's like a relationship. We have problems in a relationship. You talk out your problems and you solve it. So it's pretty much how I feel. And I know that you guys have to come out with your stories and you guys have to investigate it and whatnot. But yeah. So
jumping back to the BML, you're saying that what did making primate noises and jumping around, what did that have? What was the correlation between those two?
See, and this is where I'm gonna lose everyone. It wasn't just like, I understand like now, like it's monkeys, and like that was probably the worst one to use in consideration. But there was no thought, to it. Like, there was no racism at all. Like, we used almost every animal known to man, and the reason that it came up is because one of the kids that was in the room was scrolling through iFunny and saw a ripe Harambe, and we were like, oh my gosh, we haven't done a gorilla yet, and so that's what we decided to do. And again, like, I clicked 2 buttons. I sent it to our group chat, Snapchat for the LLC, and I sent it to one other person, my friend in Arizona, and I don't know how it was uploaded anywhere other than that, because you don't send an inside. It's like trying to explain an inside joke to somebody. It's like this, how hard this is to explain to you, because it looks like I'm a racist, but I'm not. Like, if you go back the months that we've been here, and the conversations that I've had, the hours and hours of laughter that I've had with my LLC, you understand that like it's not just a story, and people are gonna say you're just making this up to save your own butt. I'm not. Like, if I was being racist, I wouldn't hide it. I'm not being racist. I understand how the video makes me look racist and how it looks really bad, but I feel like racism has to have a hateful motive behind it, in every direction. And there was no motive. There was no hate at all. There was no intentions. It was just something that I sent that I thought was going to be private, and I wouldn't have sent it to anybody if I thought it was going to make them upset. So yes.
So now we're going to play for you the video of you at the rally and get some of your reactions.
Immediately, because I'm white, racist, sexist, and I hate all colors of people, right? Because I'm a white Republican, right? Right?
You're calling yourself what?
Apparently, well, society's calling me racist. Society's calling me.
All we're here to listen. Come on. All we are here for is because, listen. Can we like come to a compromise here? What we're here saying, I'm Zack. What we're here saying is that all lives matter, not just black lives. And if police brutality, racial police brutality, if you guys would have went about it, your Black Lives Matter in a different way, and said police brutality is a problem, not racial police brutality, everyone here would probably go to work. But you said racial police brutality, and that's where you're segregating yourselves against society. We don't. There should be racial tension, because it's not.
So why did you feel the need to go to a rally that you didn't agree with?
Well, it's like the same reason that a lot of the Black Lives Matter comes to any Ben Shapiro or Milo or any even like the white nationalist who's speaking over at UF. They feel like they have to go there and protest, and during the election, all the Trump rallies and whatnot, I'm from Ocala. Trump came to Ocala to rally. I've seen, the flipping of cars, and I've seen, all that kind of stuff. And, I feel like we protested. I wouldn't even call it protesting, but I would say, we stood there and, we listened. We talked, and, we stood there proudly representing our American flag because, I know that, people believe that, that American flag, represents hatred and racism and every problem with today's society, but, a lot of people feel differently. People died for that flag, and, I wouldn't go and, stand on graves of anybody and, laugh on it and, kneel on it or, make fun of it because, that flag means everything to the mom that just got a knock at her door, that her son just died overseas. I couldn't even imagine that, No, but like my reaction to that video, I feel like, the only thing that I could say, I was very aggressively engaged in the conversation, but I'm pretty passionate about politics. I take it very seriously. And, looking at that video, I don't disagree with anything that I said. I am, like I said, I am an advocate for all lives mattering. And, I want to address, the problem. But, whenever I try to, I don't know if the part was cut out or you guys weren't there yet. But, I feel like everyone kind of just wants a scapegoat. And they just blame, whoever was in front of them. So, like, technically white Republicans are getting a lot of the blame for everything. And I don't think that's, productive. I went there to listen, to talk, to engage. I'm the type of person that if, I talk to you, I want to question your views. I want to challenge your views so that you challenge your views. My views and my opinions on my political policies change on the world around me. As the world changed, my views change. I'm sure 5-10 years ago, gay marriage, no one really, supported gay marriage other than like this tight group of people. Now it's like widely accepted. And, it's accepted in the Republican culture, the Democratic culture, it's stuff like that. As it grows on and, they explain their side and we listen, we hear them. And we're like, that makes sense. Whatever makes you happy, fine, great. I don't disagree with anything I said there. I would stand by that. I like talking to people, and I like getting their side. I heard a lot of very good opposing arguments, to what I had to say, which was great because it challenged my views, ultimately making my arguments for the next one stronger, and that's how I feel.
So switching gears a little bit, how did you find out that the video had gone viral?
So I got a call from one of my friends, saying, what the heck? I was like, what do you mean, what the heck? What's going on? I haven't talked to you in forever. And he was like, what's on your Facebook? I was like, what do you mean what's on my Facebook? I don't go on Facebook. What are you talking about? He's like, you're all over Facebook. I was like, for what? And he was like, there's a video that went public, and they're saying that you sent it. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't send any videos on Facebook. Like, what is that? And so I went on Facebook and, I searched my name and, my heart dropped to the bottom of my shoes. It really did. It was a heart-wrenching feeling that I can't even describe. It's like when you get a phone call that a relative has passed away. Like it takes you completely by storm. And I was speechless. I sat there staring at my phone for 5 minutes, and my friends came over and they were like, "Why are you so pale?" And I was stuttering. And even to this day, it's horrible to even think about because I would never want to portray myself like that to anybody. I need to get that message across. I'm not racist. I believe that everybody is equal in everything. I do believe that we have an inequality in some branches in today's society, but ultimately, take pride in America's past and be a part of America's future, pretty much.
So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Monique Williamson. She's one of the people that put the rally on. In a comment, she said that you were heard at the rally calling people N-word bees. Is there any validity to that statement?
Excuse me? N-word? What's an N-word bee? So like
the N-word.
The N-word?
Yes.
I've never said that word outside of maybe a rap song, because I don't want to be called a hunky. I don't want to be called these racial slurs. I can deny that allegation, plain and simple. I would never call anybody that. I don't know when I would have time between being pulled away from the rally and having a conversation with people at the rally. A lot of these allegations that are coming out that I heard from a source that people are saying that I'm going around saying that the school's not doing anything about it. How would I even go around doing that? Because I don't even know. I don't know if I'm still a student here. I have no idea. I know your eyes got like this big when I said that, but like I don't know. You hear the whole video is under investigation. The whole case is under investigation by the university. That's all I know too. I did all my meetings, all my stuff, but other than that, like that's all I know. It's been a horrible week, absolutely horrible. With all of my family stuff going on and juggling, my scholarships that I might be losing and all these other things, it sucks because, I don't want to be portrayed like this. I have aspirations to maybe go into political office one day, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do that anymore because when you search my name on YouTube or even on Google, you search UNF on Google, and I come up as, this sexist, racist bigot that hates everybody, and it's not true. And I feel like, that video was taken, like an hour and a half, 2 hours before I even saw the video on Facebook. So, like, that's my views. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I know that everyone's, like, all up in arms and triggered about, the video that went down. But, like, there's a story behind the video. There's actual, like, facts. And, like, we have, like, proof that, like, that's what happened, and I'm sorry that if it makes anybody upset. I really am sorry, and I'm really sorry that all this happened. But ultimately, I didn't mean to hurt anybody. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm a really big advocate for unity in today's society, especially in today's society. Everyone being so divided, and so seeing that video, with my name attached to it, it shattered me absolutely because my character, my integrity, and my public image to me means so much because I've worked on it for way too long to just watch it just crumble within a paragraph that somebody decided to post.
So you said that you're not sure if you're still a student here, so you haven't been able to go to classes since that video's been gone viral?
I have been at classes, yes. So what I know is that it's under investigation. Nothing has changed as of right now. But I don't know. I could get a call right after this. I have no idea. I know just as much as you guys do. So I have been at classes. I've only gone to 2 days worth of classes. I left Thursday because UPD and the other administration thought it'd be a good idea for me to not be here, considering my location of everything was all given out online and people knew where my hometown was, and that's another thing, man. It got out of my hometown, and everyone's like, I'm sure everyone thinks SoCal is racist anyway. I don't know if you've ever been to Ocala, but everyone thinks SoCal is racist anyway. But having to walk back and see my old running team and all these other things, I have to like look them in the face and explain the story and justify myself. In today's society, justifying everyone calling you racist is one of the hardest things to do. And coming back from this is going to be horrible, and that's why I tried to I agreed to come here because I do think that telling you this and getting this out was very important.
How did you tell your parents about this?
So, in between getting back to my room and all my LLC friends comforting me and UPD came in and they were like, what happened? They told them the story, they got some evidence and whatnot, and they were like, look, have you called your parents yet? And I was like, I don't even know where to begin. I don't want my parents thinking that I'm a racist, that they raised a racist, because it's not true. I didn't even know what to say. I sat there staring at my phone with the number typed in for close to 10 minutes. My hands were shaking and sweating, and I couldn't even draft what to say. So, I called them and I was like, hey, put me on speaker. And, by this point it's 11:30 at night, so they think, I got in a car wreck or, something like got arrested or, something like that. And I was like, I need you to listen to me. I just please don't ask any questions. this is what is happening. I'm safe as of right now. I don't know what is going on. I don't know how this is happening. I'm so sorry. And, they were really supportive. They support me in everything that I do. I've messed up, before, nothing like this, but, I've messed up, everyone does. And they're always in my corner, always supporting me. And, they were up here the next day, because that was, 11:30 at night, 12 o'clock at night when UPD left. They were up here the next day, going to the meetings with me, actively, because, I don't want this process to, go on very long. Whatever happens, like, I just want it to happen, because, like, I know everyone's upset, and, this explanation probably isn't going to help anybody, but, I didn't want to, like, show anybody that I was, like, hiding, that it, like, because, like, I know, like, it looks like I was completely in the wrong, and, looking at it now, like, it looks like I am in the wrong, but I wanted people to know that, like, I'm trying to solve this, I'm here, I'm willing to talk to anybody, anybody about their political views, and, I met somebody yesterday at the cafe, he brought up the video to me, didn't know who I was, and, I was talking to him, and I was talking to him about my political views, and then I told him, I was like, I was the kid that, took that video, and his eyes, like you, just got, that big around, and he was like, man, I'm sorry. He was like, I've listened to you for 30 minutes. I'm sorry that you have to go through this, and he wished me good luck, and, it's really hard for me to make friends now, especially with this transition in college, but especially now, and so, that was really nice having that moment, to know that, maybe everything will be okay, after this blows over, and, after the whole storm kind of blows through, that, if I can just talk to people, which I'm willing to talk to anybody that wants to talk, like, I will gladly sit down and, I will answer your questions, I will, discuss with you my beliefs, and yes.
So who are the other two gentlemen in the video?
I'm not allowed to say that, I would if I could, if their names were already out, I could discuss about them, but I can't, it's university policy, they have, privacy laws, so, even being here, like, kind of pushes those boundaries, and, there hasn't been any questions that I haven't been able to say yet, because, but I can't tell you their names, and, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want anybody to go through what I'm going through, because it was a mistake, and, saying their names is just going to ruin their life like it's ruined mine.
Can you confirm that they were both UNF students?
I can't even confirm that. I'm sorry, like, I would if I could, but I can only give you, like, I'm, like, right on the line right now, so I'm sorry.
So what kind of backlash have you received? Like, when you go to classes, are people, like, coming up to you? Are they threatening you online? Like,
literally everything you can imagine, Cyberbullying, I feel like, has a double standard. They're like, if you're a victim and you're being, bullied online, you're a victim of cyberbullying. I don't feel like that's true, because no one looks at me like the victim, but I'm being absolutely bent over on, on social media, and, about 45 minutes, an hour after seeing the video, and, getting hundreds and hundreds of follower requests on Facebook, I deleted my Facebook, after the next hour, and I started getting follower requests on Instagram, deleted my Instagram. Then my Twitter was compromised, and then, my Snapchat name got out, and my Tinder profile's gone, so it's like, that's the big one right there, Tinder. It's been bad, I had death threats, pulling up to Jacksonville, homie better wish I don't see him, and all these other things, and, it breaks my heart, that I had to be the cause of more racial tension in today's society, because that's not what I want. I want unity, and, I don't want, I walk into your room and he's white and he's black and that's just how it has to be. I walk into a room and I see a smile, I'm not going to ignore race, because, race is there, but, a smile is a smile, a good personality goes a long way, and, I feel like if you're going to have race, do it on personality, whether it's good or bad.
So are you in fear of your life?
It's been getting better. A lot of stuff's going on with my family. Actually, when I got back to Ocala, my grandfather was admitted to the ICU. He stopped breathing. He actually passed away last night. So, like, dealing with that, dealing with some scholarship information, and dealing with all the threats on Facebook, and, being here in comparison to being home, I would say at one point, I really was. you know, UPD was outside of my area where I was staying. You know, everyone's been so nice too, you know, at the university. It's been great. You know, the UPD has been fantastic. The administration has been open, besides, you know, not telling me, you know, what's going on now. You know, they've been, you know, really easygoing with the process, and, you know, they explained everything. The student ombudsman was fantastic, and the UPD made it a lot easier. You know, I just actually talked to him this morning, the detective in charge of, you know, my case, and, you know, I told him, you know, thank you for everything that you're doing, you know, because I know, you know, whatever his political views are, you know, he told me he's here for security and safety of all students, and, you know, that made me feel so much better, because, you know, I didn't know if I should come out and say something, and, you know, because I don't want to, like, defend myself, because I'm not, there's nothing, like, I can't defend that, you know, it was a misunderstanding, and, you know, when whoever called me from Spinnaker and I said it was a misunderstanding, and, you know, I couldn't really get into it, like, I got into it. It was a misunderstanding. Like, you know, it was blown complete. I would say it was blown to proportion if it meant what it was supposed to mean. But considering, you know, nobody really knows the facts and all of these other things, I feel like it was blown way out of proportion. And, you know, I have friends in New York. I have friends in Miami. I have friends in Washington. And they're all messaging me. A friend in Arizona was like, what is, you know, going on? And so that's, yeah, I mean, at one point I was, you know, in fear of my life. And, you know, I still, I don't know if you've ever had to, you know, look behind your shoulder, you know, around, you know, in the cafe. You know, I've worn hats. This is the first time I've took off a hat, and, you know, and my hair looks horrible, but, you know, it's the first time I've taken off a hat probably since Thursday. You know, and I usually wear them backwards. I have to wear them forward, down with my sunglasses on, because I'm scared that someone's going to come up to me. And, you know, I'm too mentally and physically drained and emotionally drained to, like, engage them in conversation, which I feel like is going to anger them even more. And, you know, you know, the police officer said, you know, it only takes one person. You know, all these threats and everything like that, it takes one person, you know, to ruin not only my life, to ruin, like, the university's, you know, reputation, to ruin everything. So, like I said, the university PD has been fantastic. I have nothing but good things to say about them.
So are you back on campus yet?
I am staying back on campus. Housing has been great. You know, options of moving to different locations, you know, whenever, it's fantastic. You know, they're doing a great job. You know, everyone has been supportive, you know, in the transition, because, you know, I'm a first year. You know, everyone knows that I'm a freshman. It's out on Spinnaker, and, you know, coming here alone, you know, this being, you know, my first 2 months here, 2.5 months here, almost done with my first semester, and having all this go down, you know, I was stressed out enough, you know, just dealing with my course load, dealing with drama, dealing with, you know, my Tinder dates and all, you know, all those other things, and you know, to have this just implode like that, and, you know, they've made it very easy, and yes, so.
So a lot of people are calling for you to be expelled from the school. What do you feel like a suitable punishment is for your role in the video?
You know, that's not really my call. You know, it's how you interpret the video. You know, interpretations and perceptions are two completely different things. They are. You know, there was no, you know, mean intentions, harsh, hateful intentions, racial intentions by sending that video, but the perception was completely different. You know. Public opinion means everything in today's society. It could make or break you. I ask that people just, you know, sit back and hear me. And, you know, if you ever want to talk or anything like that, you know, set up. We'll have a picnic on the green or something. Like, I will talk. Like, I want it to be peaceful. Like, I don't want to argue with anybody. I want to, like, I want my views to be challenged as well as their views to be challenged. And I love conversation. And, you know, looking at it and looking at the punishment, you know, I feel like, you know, I worked really, really hard to be here. I worked really, really hard for everything that I've earned, and to have that taken away, like, I understand that everyone's upset, but people see a post online, they don't look at it as like a human being. They look at it as just a picture, it's just an incident, and, you know, they don't understand that, like, it is ruining my life. It is making people look at me completely different, and And that's a feeling that like I can't even describe. Like people were like, good, yeah, you know, get him out of there, you know, he's horrible. But I didn't mean anything. Like I don't know, like thinking about a punishment, it's ultimately up to the university. Like I can't even really comment on it because, you know, I say, yeah, we should be expelled. But then, you know, everyone's like, good, like then the university should just expel him. But like, I feel like that's really harsh. And, you know, I worked just like everybody else. I worked since grade school to be here, you know? And I'm not just a picture, you know, in my American flag shorts that looks like a douche. I'm not, that's not, you know, I'm a college student, you know, I'm living on my own for the first time. It was a mistake that it got out. I don't know how it got out, but it's a mistake. And, you know, and people have been telling me, you know, people make mistakes and all these other things. And I'm like, yeah, but like, this is really bad.
So was it a mistake that the video got out, or was it a mistake to even make the video in the first place?
I would say looking back on it, it was a mistake to even make the video in the first place. And, you know, it's like, you know, if you could do this over again, would you? Of course I would. Like, I would agree to that. If I could take back the BML joke altogether, I would. But I can't go back in time. All I can do is apologize and show you how sincere I am, and that I am a human being, and that this is, like, punishment, like, you know, for the other two kids, you know, some type of punishment. My punishment is I'm never going to be able to get a job again without this coming up. I'm never going to be able, if I get kicked out of this university, I'm never going to be able to go to another university. I don't know about my scholarships that I worked 2 years on. I started my application process 2 years into high school to get an amazing scholarship with an amazing organization, and that is in jeopardy. That's its own separate investigation. So not only do I have to deal with the school, I have to deal with that as well, and it's horrible. And I feel like, I'm going to say this, but I feel like that is a punishment enough. You know, having my name absolutely smeared on every single wall with every feces that you can imagine, and put out to blast. And, you know, I feel like the other two kids have it way easier. And, you know, I could have come out and I could have said, these are the names. You know, I could, but I don't want to do that. That's horrible. I don't want anybody to feel how I'm feeling, unsafe, you know, unsure and scared, and, you know, everything. All these mixtures of emotion that are going on right now is horrible, horrible.
So with such a notorious reputation at UNF, do you want to stay here? Do you want to transfer?
You know, I don't believe that leaving would be a suitable answer. That's like, you know, you start something and you get halfway through it and you quit. You know, I'm out here now. I am on a platform. I am here, and, you know, I don't want to be the poster child for the traction that Black Lives Matter has. I don't want to be that. You know, and I saw the interview with SDS. I don't know if it was the president or whoever it was, and she was like, you know, I really wouldn't want to talk to him. And, you know, that kind of hurt. You know, like that. Like I know that, like, it was very, you know, up in arms. She's probably very upset about it, but I would want to talk to her, and I would want to, like, prove to her, like, sit down and talk to her, like, I'm not racist. These are my views. Like, I understand that your views are a little bit different, but ultimately everybody wants to be equal. Ultimately everyone wants to feel safe, and ultimately we want a better world. How do we make that happen? And, you know, she was like, I don't know if the school should make them come to SDS meetings. If I know that I feel safe going to an SDS meeting, I would love to. I would love to hear what they have to say. You know, but, you know, contrary to that, I want them to, like, hear what I have to say to that. You know, and it be, like, civil, and not like, here's their views, and the moment I question them, I'm immediately wrong. You know, because, like I said, my views are shaped in the world around me, and as the world changes, my views change.
So I don't know if you recall, but in your first interview with Spinnaker, you told us that we would owe you an apology for the way that we covered this. Can you just give us in, like, under a minute what exactly the meaning of this video was?
Meaning of the video?
Yes.
So, like, the 4-second video?
Yes, the Snapchat.
There was no meaning of it at all. You know, it was not meant for anything at all. And, you know, the reason I said that on the Spinnaker thing was because, you know, you guys came out with 2 or 3 different articles before you guys even tried to contact me, you know. And I thought that was, you know, that really upset me because, you know, a lot of stuff going around with fake news and, you know, dirty media and all this other things. You know, I thought you guys were legit. And, you know, you sitting down and talking to me, you know, makes a really big difference to me. And I appreciate you guys, you know, being here for me and, you know, talking to me and everything and having me here. But I thought that you guys kind of like did me dirty there. You know, you guys came out with my name and you guys, you know, racially, you know, alleged racist on campus and all these other things. And, you know, I was like, my name's been completely smeared. I don't know, like, I'm trying to make a comment, but I don't know if I should. You know, so that's the only reason I said that. I was very upset. And, you know, my parents were very upset too. You know, they were like, you know, our name's been completely smeared all over everywhere. And, you know, Spinnaker didn't help with that.
So what's next for you?
Day by day, that's all I can really say. You know, we're going to wait to see what the university has to say. And, you know, I will go to, you know, whatever people want me to go to, whoever they want me to talk to, the meetings that they want me to attend, I will go, you know, to show them that, you know, I am open. I'm not this racist, you know, white supremacist who hates everyone. Like, I believe that's horrible. I believe supremacy of any race is horrible. So what's next is just a waiting game, and we're going to see what happens. That's all we can really do, take it day by day.
And then your sister released a statement about First Amendment rights. What is your response to her statement?
I didn't want to take the stance on First Amendment because I feel like when people hear First Amendment, they're like, okay, who's automatically wrong? You know, and when in my interview with the people who are investigating this, I told them, I was like, I don't want to talk about the First Amendment. You can you know, say, you know, okay, his First Amendment, we'll take that in consideration, but I don't want to say that because my First Amendment right and being racist are two completely different things. I wasn't being racist. You know, if you take it as racism, then my First Amendment right kicks in. I don't want to use that. I feel like in today, which is horrible to say that, you know, our U.S. Constitution is you know, could be racist if used in a certain way, but I just feel like saying that, you know, well, it's my First Amendment right, it makes everyone think that I'm wrong and, you know, I was being racist on purpose, and I don't want that. So, like, I don't even want to say, you know, I'm using my First Amendment right, because my First Amendment right would be, you know, something truthful, something that I said and I meant to say and meant to be taken in a certain way, and that was not at all how it was meant to be taken. So I don't even want to talk about First Amendment because it's completely irrelevant, and I just off the podium kind of thing.
So is there anything else that you want to say to the people that may have been offended by this video?
I'm sorry. I really am. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry that it hurt you, and I'm sorry that, you know, everything's going on in today's society. I'm here willing to talk to you. I am, you know, I am a Republican. I have liberal views. I have far right views. But I'm here. I'm different than them because I'm willing to have a conversation. I'm ready. I'm sorry that everyone took this the way, you know, that it looked, and you know, I'm sorry that I haven't come out with a statement other until now. But I'm here. I'm ready to talk. Just please lay off. Please, like, it's been horrible, and I'm a human being. I'm not just a picture. So please.
All right. Thank you for being here with us today, Zach.
Thank you for having me.
With Spinnaker News, I'm Ronnie Rogers.